All right, what up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Barbell Brigade Talk Show. We got Silent Mike. You've got Tim Kennedy here. We got an amazing question for you, because only you can answer this probably. How does training for the military look like once you're at the highest level? And do you or others still train while you guys are overseas?
That's a first question's complex. Short question, super easy. Absolutely. If you've seen the movie 13 Hours, if you haven't, you absolutely should. Amazing Americans that did an amazing thing rescuing as many Americans as they could before ultimately they all would have died had they not broken the rules that they were told. Have you seen that movie?
No, but I understand that concept.
13 Hours, Benghazi, on 9/11, when CIA contractors were at a CIA tiny little facility, and our ambassador Stevens came into town, and on 9/11 it was a kind of this coordinated terrorist attack that overran the U.S. consulate, and everybody would have died if not for these former special operations guys, some Rangers, some SEALs,
Had some rules.
and they broke some rules, and they were like told not to.
Yeah.
They're like, everybody's gonna die over there. Our ambassador died. Like, if you know anybody in your mom, your dad, in their lifetime had an ambassador die, they did it.
Yeah.
Like, this is a big deal that was like buried. Like, we lost Ambassador Stevens to a terrorist attack on 9/11 in Benghazi. And these heroes in this 13-hour gunfight, those 13 hours they fought these guys to try to save them. But to your question about training, one, it's a way to blow off steam. Two, you have to stay, like, complacency kills. We say it all the time. And if you ever set down the sword, it's really hard to pick it up. So we always just want to kind of stay in this constant state of training. And there's a funny scene in this movie, and it's a totally true. The team, the security team, were outside and they're training. They're like flipping tires, and they're like lifting stuff. And the station chief, and the CIA like boss of the location, he like opens his window. Will you animals shut up and stop doing that? And they're like, fuck you, like when you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail, and you have to stay in this hammer mindset.
Yeah.
You have to stay in this mode of like always ready to fight. So yes, you absolutely train all the time.
When you say all the time, is that like multiple times a day?
Yeah, I mean, like when I would train before missions sometimes to like burn off nerves.
Yeah.
And I would train after missions when I come back. If it didn't end up being like a 20, 30 hour mission, I'd come back and train again. And we're in reverse shift, so we're working at night when the sun sets until the sun comes up. So sometimes the helicopters are rolling in before sunrise, so that means I get in at like 5 a.m. and 4 a.m. and like unload my gear, change my batteries, top off the magazines, and then go to the gym. Lay down at 6:30, boom, sleep for 10 hours, get up, work out, go smash again.
How many skills do you have to look at? Because training for us is, the gym, but for training for y'all is much different, right? I assume some kind of hand-to-hand combat, some kind of weapons combat, and physical training, and even mental training. Like, what are those components? Do you break them down, like, strategically? Like, you said you do the physical stuff to burn some nerves, but what about kind of the gun training or the combat stuff?
Yeah, I mean, one, being fit makes everything easier. Like, there's no way that you can train, you say the mental stuff. You train the mental stuff by doing physical stuff. Like, there's not an action that makes your brain harder besides doing the modality of making your brain harder.
You're not just crushing
about
Sudoku all day?
Yeah, what about looking at a mirror and going, "You're awesome. You're awesome."
Yeah,
or like,
that's what I do, but I'm not him yet.
I'm just gonna like envision what
How
it feels
awesome.
like to be riding on a Black Hawk.
Yeah. They say Tetris is good for the brain. I was thinking that.
Yeah, no, that's not included. And then on like preparation, getting ready for Special Forces selection, for example, like there are some really clear posts gates that you have to be able to get through. Your 12-mile ruck, your 5-mile run, being able to do 2 miles in 13 and a half minutes, being able to do 100 push-ups straight. I'm like grossly summarizing or rounding some of these things, but
these are kind of like the benchmark of what a physical capability you need to have.
yeah. And then once you get to the teams, depending on the job of the team, you got Halo teams, you got scuba teams, you have ruck teams, you have like DA teams, you have HR teams. So depending on the specialty of that team, you spend a lot of time making sure that you're really proficient in that specialty, whether it's your infill platform or
Which is infiltration.
yeah, whether you're like going to be haloing in, or you're going to be like scubaing in, or you're going to be like driving in, like your overland expertise. All of those are specialties that you want to make sure that you and the rest of your team are like up to snuff on.
So like the scuba guys are probably swimming way more or whatever.
Yeah.
Even driving, I feel like such a skill, probably at your
is.
guys' level.
It
Like
absolutely
you can't like
is.
just take 2 weeks off and then spend it like skirt through a jungle.
Yeah. I mean, like, you try to get an operator in a vehicle without completely destroying the vehicle, there's no way you can stop him.
Yeah.
You know, you can't pit him, you can't ram him. You know, like you try to pit him, he's literally gonna out pit you and be in position to repit you.
Yeah, jiu-jitsu in 4 wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's dope.
So the only way to stop, you know, like guys on the teams are like to blow up the engine. You know, like, cool, you popped a couple of tires.
yeah, but they're probably run flats.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
You know,
So when you guys are training, is there like these core exercises that we always do because we know this applies to so many of the things that we do?
on the fitness side,
Yeah. Like we did kettlebell swings today. Is that like something that's like a staple in almost every workout?
full,
Like,
full body stuff is, you know, being able to move your body. Shoot, move, communicate, medicate. Those 4 things are the things that we have to make sure that we're always proficient on. The move part is like moving you. So like, can I get up on top? I was joking, but not joking, right?
Yeah.
Like I can get up there.
Yeah.
You put 50 pounds of body armor on me and 20 pounds of gear on me, like I'm still getting up there. So being able to move you, that's, you know, running, rucking, climbing. So love burpees, love bodyweight get-ups, love pull-ups, love muscle ups. And then everything in the movement category from biking to, that's why I love the Versa Climber and the Jacob's Ladder.
I see.
And those are all things of just the move element.
yeah.
And then we spend tons of time on the shoot, move, and the shoot and communicate and medicate part. Those are...
So what about like bodybuilding type exercise? There's no room for that? Like biceps and like...
no, I mean...
Maybe a chin up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like...
Some
But that's
basics.
more because of it's moving,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like the
Or
actual
push
functional
up, right?
movement.
That's some like core.
Yeah.
Is there other core movements? What would be like a core movement? Muscle up, you said. Chin up, maybe.
Yeah, planks, burpees,
Yeah,
get-ups.
planks. You talked about flipping tires in another episode.
Pulling ropes, climbing ropes.
Yeah.
And when you guys are in like overseas, I'm just assuming most of the time you guys don't have access to a super sick Roka gym.
I mean, it depends on where we're at. You know, I mean, we've been in a lot of countries for a long time.
Yeah.
You know, Japan, Germany, the gyms in Iraq and Afghanistan were amazing.
Their gyms or our base gyms?
Our base gyms.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, like
yeah.
We had great gyms.
Yeah.
And I mean, like I did boxing, smoking tournaments in boxing rings while I was in Afghanistan. Oh shit! You know, like it was
Yeah.
a real nice
Yeah.
ring.
Yeah.
Canvas, ropes, everything. You know, like way better than 1999 in New Orleans, where I'm fighting on top of cardboard with a couple of dudes standing there. Yeah. So it was.
So with the least amount of equipment, what did you have to put together to make it work?
Man, I wrote this series called Letters from a Foreign Land.
Yeah.
And in it, I was talking about, I was in this base in the Urzgan Valley, and I had a transmission, a 50 cal, and
Car transmission?
that's right, and ammo cans. And,
How heavy is the transmission? Like,
Oh, that's going to be
300 pounds.
Yeah, that's going to be heavy as shit.
Okay.
Yep.
A 50 cal rifle?
Yeah, a 50 cal Mod Deuce, an M2.
Okay.
I mean, the barrel on that thing's like 30 pounds.
Okay.
So, you know, like doing cleans
With
with
the
a
50
50 cal, and then just doing like strongman stuff with
Yeah.
the transmission, and then filling up ammo cans or sandbags and doing all sorts, you know, kettlebell swings with a sandbag.
Yeah.
And like the locals would look at this psychopath. I'm just like drenched in sweat and filth and carbon and gun oil, and then I'm just like sitting here swinging sandbags and like chucking them over my head as hard as I can. How far can I thrust or push a transmission that weighs 300 pounds? And then I'm like gonna grab a little local kid and try to run up and down this hill. You know, there's like, what is going on?
Man, crazy!
And then repeat.
So like, would you say? Because I'm sure in special forces you train with like cross train with a lot of military, and you train up actual like foreign troops. Would you say like our level of fitness allows us to be so much more dominant? Besides obviously the training and the intelligence, but like, do you see that kind of priority in the other troops of the world?
Yeah, I mean, you just take the Olympics. You know, we're on the podium every time.
Yeah.
Right. We have the most medals, the most golds. You know, China has how many more people than we do?
Yeah.
But we still outpace them in everything.
Yeah.
It's very similar on the military. And we're the most technologically advanced. You know, so we're the most lethal fighting force. We're the most fit fighting force. I just wish this freaking country would get unfucking fat. That'd be nice. We have the lowest percentage of eligible Americans to serve in the military right now in the history of America.
History, yeah.
We have the most obese. This is the most obese America that we've ever had. This is the most obese country on the whole entire planet. And like we're at national security problems if we don't fix how fat we are.
Wow.
Yeah. There'd be big problems.
Or we could try making everyone else fatter.
That's another option.
I like that.
Yeah.
Let's just start like French fry warfare.
So this is the thing about dictatorships and communism is they get to do whatever they want and make their people do whatever they tell them.
Yeah.
So
Like everyone be fit in 3 months.
Even if we went and like opened 50 McDonald's in there in a really clever way, you know, like Xi Jinping would just be in there and be like, "No fat Americans," and they click close. That was like a Russian accent. It was supposed to be a
All
Chinese.
right, we'll
Sounds
retake
similar.
it. Let's give it
Okay.
another one.
All right, so if I was like a mouse,
Bart loves white people
I
doing
love
Asian
it. It's my
accents. This makes
favorite.
well, I can't do it, so I'm just gonna do like a
But he loves it.
a Moscow accent, and,
that's
and
fair.
we're just gonna pretend it's Putin, and he's like, 9. No, that's German.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Moving across the continent.
Would you say that's just to sum up this video? You would say that that's like one of the key things to making our country get back on its feet and get stronger again. It's just like maybe attacking the country from a fitness point of view, and there's probably some sort of like positive domino effect into all the other areas.
Absolutely. You know, everything that you do is connected to how you are as a person. And if you are a fat, lazy, useless person, you're not going to be a good employee. You're not going to be a good parent. You know, you're not going to be a good spouse. You're just a fat, lazy person that's useless. I don't need any useless people in my life. It was funny as we're pulling out of my office, and there's like that person walking by. I'm like, that's not one of my people, Bart. You know,
I wasn't judging.
I know I was.
Because
as you walk through my office, you know, even retired Sergeant Major Matt Smith, 25 years, he's a broken neck.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like a monster. You know, like
Yeah.
you could feel it, right?
I know he's gonna whoop my ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you see Yako, you know, and like Zach and Carl. They're all like, Carl looks like a Ken doll.
Yeah.
So yeah, fitness is the cornerstone to everything, and you know I say it all the time. How you do anything is how you do everything, and if you're fat and lazy, you know, if you're eating crap, if you are not focused on being a disciplined, contributing member of society, then you think you're gonna be good at other stuff. You're not.
Yeah.
You're just not.
They keep talking about the mental health issues in America.
They're connected.
And like you
They
just
are
said,
connected.
Sudoku ain't fixing it.
no.
So
and,
how about
and
we
neither
go?
are drugs.
Yeah, how about we get some biking clubs and some fucking running clubs and see how your mental health is in a year?
What is this epidemic?
Transmission
Let's
clubs.
give them more drugs, or you know, let's have more inclusion. No, it's gonna make it worse. Get them unfat.
Yeah.
Get them fitter. Like walk into a gym with. I mean, and there are rare, you know, like on the spectrum of mental health, there are very fit people that struggle with things, and I get
For sure.
it. You know, and like I love you. You are loved. Come and find a friend. There's lots of people that want you to live, but very few, right? You go to the other spectrum, and you're like, oh yeah, when was the last time that you were outside? When was the last time that you actually had a real diet? When was the last time that you had healthy sleep? You know, when was the last time that you had sex?
Well, come on, let's not attack me during this episode. Like we're trying.
You know, but on the flip side, like getting great sleep, you know, like holding my wife up against the wall, you know, like that's fun, and being able to do that, you know, and laying down in bed exhausted after like some rad sex and a badass workout and a good day of work, you know, as an entrepreneur, a small business owner, like getting after it all day long, 25 calls every 5-6 minutes.
Everyone's got insomnia. Well, you're not tired because you didn't work.
Exactly.
You don't work at all, yeah.
Well, I'm having a hard time sleep. You know, can I get some medication? No, you cannot. What you have to do
Touch
tomorrow
grass.
is wake up at 6 o'clock, go for a run, go make your kids a good, healthy breakfast, go to the office for 8 hours, maybe go do lunch. During lunch, go do jujitsu, come back, make your family dinner, make love to your wife, and I fucking promise you're gonna have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you'll probably be tired.
Yeah.
Chances are good.
Yep. Some really, really good advice from someone who's literally seen it all around the world. Keep the questions coming. We love all these comments. Let us know what other things you want us to ask Tim. See you guys next time.
Besides the sex thing, that one hurt.